Managing a global team can get complicated because you're dealing with different countries, currencies, benefits, and compliance. However, Multiplier brings it all together in one platform so you can stay on top of everything. Today, we'll walk through onboarding new hires, running payroll across regions, and accessing real-time insights into your workforce. Whether it's contractors or full-time employees across multiple countries, you'll see how Multiplier keeps operations organized, reduces errors, and gives you clear visibility. So let's dive in. So let's start from the very first moment, which is hiring someone new. You log into Multiplier, and then you head over to the Hire and Onboarding section. Now, this part feels very direct because you're not jumping across multiple tools. Everything starts here. You enter basic details like name, location, role, and then you move into compensation. And this is where things start to feel practical because you can define salary, payroll frequency, bonuses, and even things like allowances or ESOPs if your structure needs that. Then right after that, you get into benefits. And this part is quite important because Multiplier lets you choose localized benefits based on the country your employee is in. So you're not guessing what works in that region. The platform already aligns those options for you. You pick coverage, decide if family is included, and even control how much the company pays versus the employee. Then comes leaves, probation, notice period, all those small but critical details. And once everything looks right, you hit send contract. And here's where it becomes more than just a form. You can actually track the full onboarding journey. So you see when the contract is sent, when it is signed, when documents are uploaded. It feels like you're not chasing updates anymore. Instead, you're just checking a live tracker. Now, once your team starts growing, you move into managing them. So inside the platform, you can view all employees and contractors in one place. And this sounds simple, but when you have people across different countries, this kind of centralized view saves you from switching tools or digging through files. You can approve time off, review timesheets, and handle salary changes right from the same dashboard. And let's talk about time off for a second, because this is where small delays usually happen. Here, you get requests, you review them, and you approve them without friction. Same thing with timesheets. You can track hours and approve them without going back and forth on emails. Then we step into payroll, which is usually the most sensitive part. So first, you onboard your employees into the payroll system. You can do that manually, or you could just upload a CSV file, or even connect your existing HR system. Once your team is inside, you go into settings and define your payroll cycle. So you choose if you want monthly, semi-monthly, set your pay dates, and define cutoff dates. And then comes customization. You can define earnings, deductions, bonuses, all within structured categories. So each region or entity can have its own setup without breaking your overall system. Now, when you go to the payroll dashboard, you see everything in one place. All employees, all regions, all stages of payroll. And this is where the process becomes very clear. First, you review inputs, then you confirm them. After that, payroll goes into processing, and once it is ready, you get outputs like gross to net breakdowns. You review that, approve it, and then pay slips are generated. And what helps here is the reporting layer. You're not just running payroll, you're also understanding it. You get variance reports so you see what changed from last month. You get headcount reports, year-to-date data, and statutory reports based on local laws. So instead of guessing compliance, you're actually working with structured data that matches each country. And then there's the analytics side. You go into reports, select your entity and pay cycle, and then you can download exactly what you need. Tax reports, bank summaries, employee summaries, all filtered based on your setup. And if you're handling multiple countries, this becomes very useful because each report adapts to that country's requirements. So you're not trying to standardize everything manually, the system adjusts itself based on where your employees are. Now, beyond features, there's something else that matters a lot, and that is support. Multiplier assigns you a dedicated customer success manager, so you're not dealing with random support tickets every time. You have one person who understands your setup, your team, and your workflows. And if something comes up, you reach out directly. And the same idea applies to your employees. They get onboarding specialists who guide them through their setup. So if there's a missing document or login issue, it gets handled without pulling you into it. And this changes how you manage your time because you're not stuck solving every small issue yourself. Now, let's talk about cost, because this is where many platforms become unpredictable. Multiplier works on flat pricing, so it doesn't scale based on salaries. And this matters when your team grows, because your costs stay predictable. Also, you don't need to set up local entities in different countries, so you avoid legal setup costs, infrastructure, and all the overhead that usually comes with global hiring. And since everything is inside one platform, contracts, payroll, expenses, leave management, you're not paying for multiple tools either. Then we have benefits, which often get overlooked. Multiplier connects with local insurance providers in different countries. So instead of offering generic coverage, you're giving employees something that actually fits their region. You can customize plans, include family members, and even decide coverage levels. And there's also mental health support included by default, which adds another layer of care for your team. Now finally, let's bring everything together with how this feels in real use. Once you send a contract, you can track onboarding step by step. Then your employee joins, starts working, and their details automatically flow into payroll. When it's time to pay, you already have all the data in place. You review it, approve it, and payroll runs. You can open any month, check details like salary, expenses, time off, and make edits if needed. And when everything is done, you download reports for your records. So you're not jumping between spreadsheets, emails, and separate systems. Everything stays connected. And one detail that's worth noting, Multiplier claims up to 99.95% payroll accuracy. So while you still review things, the system reduces manual errors quite a bit. So if we step back and look at the full picture, Multiplier is not just about paying salaries. It's about managing your entire global team from one place with visibility at every step. And if you're planning to hire across borders, or you already have a distributed team, then this kind of setup can save you a lot of time and also reduce the risk that usually comes with global operations. So yeah, that's Multiplier. If you were setting this up today, this is exactly how you would move from hiring to payroll without breaking your flow. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos. And don't forget to share your experience with Multiplier in the comments.